Hi ladies, okay, you're getting ready to watch part 2 of my tutorial on using IOD borders for a book stack. I posted in the first video that it just turned out way too long to expect you to sit through all that. So you're getting ready to watch part 2. Enjoy! We're going to take some sealer now and seal just the outside of the book because the book will be going like this, and I'll be putting my transfer on here, and it will need to have some sealer on it before it will adhere properly. So I'm going to put this book like this because I know that's going to be the front. I'm going to put this one in the middle. These going to get glued together. So what I'm going to do next is take my dark wax and kind of put it over my borders and buff those off. I'm going to do that before I actually attach my books to each other. So I'm going to try to get these out of the way just a little bit. So I'm going to start with this is my outside one because this one has been sealed. You can tell just a little bit of difference. I don't know if you can on here or not. Maybe a little bit of sheen difference. This is more flat where we did not put the sealer. So I'm going to take my dark wax and just kind of go over this border. Put it in there, want it in all those little crevices. Put it on the sides good. I'm taking a smaller brush for this. I do have a big wax brush, but I thought since this is so intricate and dainty with the little designs, this might help me get in there better without get in there without hitting it too hard with the larger bristles on a larger brush. So I've got that. Let that set just a minute. Get down in there. Then I'm going to take this cloth. It's actually clean. It may not look clean, but it's been used a lot and washed. I'm just going to buff that off. See what I'm doing here. I'm just going to kind of buff that off as much as you want. You can leave as much or take as much off as you would like. I'm going to leave a little bit of that in there. Okay. Okay, this is the side that will be showing. So I'm going to go ahead, not put it all over it because I'm going to be putting my transfer on there. So this I'm just getting enough to show. I want to put a little bit more down in this little crevice here. The longer you let it set, you know, the more it will stay on there. So, okay, I'm going to go with that one. This one, okay, is the outside. And we're going to go with this is the back. Dark wax out of the way, and this is the middle one right here. So I'm going to take that and put over the middle. Take some of that dark wax and just apply it on there, rub it on. It's amazing how much just a little bit of this wax can change the look of this, you know, just brings it into this whole different look. It looks more aged and, to me, a richer look, older. Okay, this is the inside, so it's not going to matter. I just want to make sure I get all this covered. So if it does, you know, have a little bit of a crease in there, it still looks like it was yeah, dark waxed in there. All right. That's it, just a minute. I think I want a little bit more down in here. Could still see some white. Okay. I'm gonna, let's sit just a minute. I take my cloth again and just kind of buff over that. That how I like it. And that looks pretty good. Let's see. Yeah, they don't have to be exactly the same. Do that one's the middle one. Now we're gonna do the last one. I hope you're staying with me for this. I thought about making it into 2 parts, but I thought I'm not sure it's really enough to put into 2 parts, but we'll see. Put our dry wax on here. Let's see what I'm doing. Get as much as you want on there. This little brush is working nicely, actually. I think the larger brush, if you're doing larger things, of course, would cover a larger amount of area in a shorter amount of time. But this is good for getting into these intricate little places, like I said. I want this white covered. Make sure I get on both sides here. Down. And let's get this side a little better. This is just so much fun. The way it just transforms in front of your eyes is just amazing to me. I have a feeling I'm going to have some more of this stuff in my future. May not get it ready for the craft fair, but yeah. Let's see, get some of this smoothed in there. There's another white spot. Get that. Got this one. Let me get this over here. All right. Let that sit a minute. And then we're going to take our cloth again. Kind of buff that out. Just kind of buff that off and get it to the shade you want it. And if you have to go back and add more, maybe you took off more than you wanted to, just take your brush, go back in there and put it on there. That looks good. This one, I think I want a little more on this one right here. Yeah. Lay that there. Now this you don't have to dry with a blow dryer or anything like that. You just kind of, I'm just going to kind of dab on that. I don't mind it having some dark around there. You see that? There, that looks aged, looks pretty. Got enough down on the sides, I'm pretty sure. Now what I'm gonna do is, and like I said, this is all new to me, so we're just gonna kind of get in this together and see how it all comes out. I noticed on some of the tutorials I watched, they had taken like a metallic wax on some things and went over maybe some of the mold or something with it. Like the one I watched that did mold on the books, they had put, theirs were totally different colors, but they had put a little bit of metallic wax. And I thought to myself, you know, I think I might have some of that. And I've never used it. I've had it for quite some time, but I'm sure when I saw it advertised on HSN, I thought it was the best thing since apple pie. So this is metallic wax. Now I'm just going to take a little bit and kind of just go over some of these designs. Maybe I need to move this over a little bit. And we're just going to see what that looks like if we decide to do that. Well, we are going to decide to do that. We're just going to see what it looks like, I guess. So let's take this. There's enough on. I'm just going to take my finger. Just going to take my finger just a little. I think. Just a little. This is always scary when I'm trying something for the first time. I'm just going to barely go over. And see, I'm not sure if that really looks metallic to me. Does that look metallic to you? I don't know. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Okay. Oh, that's better. Put a little more on there. There you go. Oh, yeah. I like that. See, because this is a wax, we'll be buffing it too. Yeah, I'm liking that. See that? It's looking pretty. And that might bring out some of the brass in my transfer. And if I wanted to, even after I put this on, if I wanted more dark around it, I could always take. Let's see if that looks. I think this needs a little bit more darker down here. Not quite as dark as those. Now I'm going to take that. I'm going to take my cloth. And I'm going to rub over that. Oops. It takes a little off, but not a lot. And now I'm going to, I think I want more dark wax on that. So I'm going to go back to my dark wax and put a little more dark wax on that. Okay. Yeah, I like that. And I'm not going to brush that off yet because I kind of like that darker. And now we're going to take the middle book. We're going to take this metallic wax. This is a, looks like bronze. I'm not sure. Yes, it's bronze. Put some bronze on this. A bit more. Might have gone a little heavy on that first one. I don't know. But like I said, we're doing this together and seeing what works, maybe what can work better next time. So after I get that on there, again, I'm going to buff it just slightly. And go back over it with the dark wax. that one I did not buff off, but I think I'm going to buff it now. I didn't buff it right away. Let's see what happens. Bit of my cloth. I think I'm just going to buff more of the top and leave the sides a little dark. There we go. There we go. I like that. Do the same on this one. Okay, now let's do the last one. Okay, got that on. Now let's do our dark wax. So now we're going to put this on before we buff it off. Got it all over my fingers. I don't want to get it on there. Again, this was the DIY dark wax. I don't know if I mentioned that or not, but that's what it was. Oh, I forgot to put this back in here. Put that on there and make that seal good. Okay, now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to glue, try to get all this off my finger, glue our books together. So this is going to be the back. I got some stuff on there, but that's okay. That will be the back. This will be the middle. So have it like so. So I'm going to put my hot glue. You want to get these lined up as evenly as you can. My hot glue gun has been kind of being very stringy lately. I might be ready for a new one. I don't know. All right, so let's get this over here. Okay, let's go down like so. Come over here. Over here. Now, I'm going to take this book, line it up as evenly as we can. That looks pretty good. Okay, I'm going to mash that down. Looks pretty good. One book may be a tad longer than the other, but that's okay. Not a problem. And then we're going to take the front of the book and we're going to add it to the top. Okay, let's get our glue on again. I've been using these Gorilla Glue, these long sticks. They seem to work okay. I know I don't have to load it quite as often as you do when you just use your little short glue sticks. Okay, now we're going to take this, make sure we've got the right side. Again, you want to try to get that as evenly as you can. That looks pretty good, I must say. And mash it down. And then we've got our 3 books like so. You can see my fingers getting on things, but that won't matter because we'll be buffing and doing all kinds of things to that, I think. So we've got our books together. And, oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm touching the wax on the side of the spine, and it's not completely dry yet. That's what's happening there. I'm going to take this and do that, and smooth that out a little bit. All right, now we're ready for the transfer. Move this around and try to center that up. I'm planning on putting a ribbon across here, or I'm thinking if I put this in the center, I could take some more of these molds, the Holly Lane molds, and use some of the little leaves or the pine cones or something to put around it, but I don't know. Let's get the transfer on, and then we'll see where to go from there. So we're going to take this off. I'm going to figure out where I want this transfer. I think I'll put it more toward the bottom. That looks pretty good. I'll lay that on and take my little squeegee tool. I don't know if that's what it's called, but it's that little tool that comes with your IOD stuff. And we're just going to go over that transfer. Sorry if I keep banging my head on my camera. Let's turn that a little bit. Go over this, try to get this to adhere. Like I said, I've never done this before. I've never painted a book, put sealer on it, and then try to do a transfer over it. So let's hope it works. At least this one isn't very large. Won't tell Arthur to come see my fingers if it takes too long. All right, let's get this going. And then we'll start lifting to see if we've got that where we want it to be and if it's adhering. All right, let's see if we can lift it. Let's see, where's my little pokey tool? Okay, so far so good. So we've got it all. Oh wow, a little bit of a berry didn't get on there. Let's come up. Another little dot. Another berry. Need to get on this side a little better. That looks like it's pretty good. Go slowly when you take it off. That way, if a piece didn't grab on, then you can go back and change it. There, got that so far. And I wanted it a little lower so I could leave room to put my bow and what other embellishment I might want to put on there. That worked really nice. I like that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take dark wax, and I'm going to take my larger brush for that because I'm going to go all around it and darken that up a little bit. Now I did get a suggestion on one of my tutorials that I watched. It said that if you thought you had too much dark wax on something, you could take your clear wax and go over it and it would act as an eraser. So I'm going to keep that in mind just in case. I forgot to burnish this after I got it all taken off there. We'll go back, make sure everything is sealed down. Now for this, I'm going to just kind of go around the edges. And I'm going to do it lighter over the transfer. And I'm going to take my cloth and wipe that off. See how that lightens up on there, but it still gives it that distressed look. I'm going to go over some of these a little bit on the side. Now I'm going to turn this over and do the same on the back. See, these are so fun because you can do whatever you want. You know, if you want it dark, dark. If you want it light, light. I'm probably going to come back and make it a little bit darker around the edges once I get it buffed off. Let's see what it's going to look like. I'll just buff that off. And now I feel like I need to do the sides. So I'm going to just take my brush and go over the pages and the cover edges. So I get some distress in there. I'm going to take it and tip it up. What did I do with that little piece of paper? I don't know. Let me get this. I don't want it to be full force when I go on the paper pages. All right, let's do this. There we go. Get those edges. We don't want anything to look white. This is not what we were going for. Now, if you're going for white, you know, you would do it totally different. And let's go here. Do these sides, the edges. Oh, pretty, pretty, pretty. Now, I am going to, you wouldn't have to, I suppose, but I'm going to go ahead and glue these closed on the tops here. Paint's kind of got them, but I just want these. I think I'd feel better if I got these glued down a little bit. Okay, get that one glued down. Flip that over. Get this one glued down. And we're not going to worry about that. All we want is to make sure that is stuck. And I'm going to go under here just a little bit. So that's what we have so far down. As I said, I think I'm going to go in around these edges a little more and kind of bring it in kind of around that center embellishment. Okay, I'm going to let that sit just a minute, and then we're going to put on the ribbon. So I started pulling out ribbon and little things I might want to embellish the top with. I decided I'm not going to put any more molds on there, I don't think, as it is right now anyway. I had this in my stash of goodies, and that goes really well with the bronze on the sides. I might use some of that up in there. Then I found this, whoops, grabbing me. Found some of this greenery I thought might look pretty with that. Just a little bit up in there to kind of come down just a little bit. So let's work on that and see what we can come up with. All right, I'm thinking I want 3 little sprigs, and I mean not very big sprigs. And then I got this little pine cone. I might use a little pine cone or 2 on there since it has pine cones. We'll see. All right, so let's cut. My longest one, I don't think I want any longer than that. Let's cut that. And I'm going to have to add another little glue stick to my glue gun. It's used it all up. Put that in there. That ready. So if I use this, I would put that under there like so. And that might even be, I wanted this kind of at an angle, my bow. And then I could put a smaller one beside it. And then one more, a little bit smaller than, well, probably pretty close to the second one we cut. And put it up. I'm not gluing anything yet, just see how I like it. Okay, that's not bad. And then if I put, you know what though? I wonder if I want those to come out up here too. Well, let's pull them back down for now. Let's keep them kind of like this. Okay, like that. And then this, you know, it's a wire, so I'm going to cut off some of this and play with it a little bit. Let's cut it right here. And I'm going to take this little piece of wire off here. I might need to use that. And let's see if I've got the greenery. I could take little sprigs of this. Is that too? Okay, let's cut it up here. Cut it not too long. I'm going to cut this one off because I don't want it hanging down. Let's come up. That was 3 on there. And let's come up 3. If I need to trim it, I might go 2 on this and just see. And then let's go back to 2 on this. Oop, there we go. Now let's see what happens if we would put this under there, this under here, actually I could actually glue those together and put those up in there, or I could put them coming out of the bow. I think I like that. So I'm going to cut 3 more. See, just kind of have to see where your creativity takes you when you're doing some of this. Let's get the 3 and then 2, right? I think I like that on the bow. Then we'll get 2. Okay, this one's kind of a wonky where it's hooked together, so I'm going to come up down a little bit. There we go. And then let's get our 2 here. And then 2 up here. Now, so if I took one with 3, I don't have one with 3. Let's do another one. 1, 2, oh, here it is. 1, 2, 3, then I need 2, and then I need 2. Okay. Now, if I had those, and I put those in my bow, I like that a lot. So I'm going to have to move my bow over. I'm going to have to get this closer to me. I'm going to take these out for now, and I'm going to put hot glue right in here. Did that come out? I hope so. And then I'm just going to stick these 3 little branches in there where that hot glue is, and okay, that one needs a little more glue. It's kind of falling. Let's put a little more hot glue in there for that one. Probably wouldn't hurt for all of them. You don't want them falling out. Pull this over a little bit. There. I can always move that bow. Talking to myself. I don't know if that's good or bad. All right, let's put that in there. And then let's put these 3 on the other side. I like the way that bronze kind of ties in with the sides. And there's also a little bit of a bronze bell in there. So we're going to try this again. All these down here about the same. Okay, let's see if I can. I'll have to put something on top of that bow. Not real sure yet. Got an idea though. Okay, so get under here again. So if my glue is showing, I'm not going to worry about it too much right now. So I think there's a way to camouflage that. Okay, short one, Here's the long one. Get my little tail to come down. This little tail to go up a little bit. Make sure those little sprigs are in there. There we go. My bow up. I love that ribbon. Love, love, love that ribbon. Does it go that way or does it go this way? I don't know. Let's pull it that way. Yeah, I like it to look a little floppy. Now, the greenery. Are we actually going to need the greenery? Let's see. Might be too long. I'm going to cut some of it off. Let's see. I'm going to cut a little bit of this off. A little bit of the other short one off. And quite a bit of the long one off. I don't want it that long. I decided. Too long. So let's see. You can see my ribbon is not secure, which is good because I think I'm going to tie something around that before I do this. So this is the long one now. If I did that, and if I did that, my bow is coming untied. I can feel it. There. I could do that. And then would I want just like a little pine cone up there? I think so. I think we're going to go ahead and glue the green in there. I hate to. Okay, so let's put some hot glue there. Let's put the long one. I need a little more hot glue right there. Put a short one. And a little bit of hot glue right here to put the other one. Have you ever noticed if you use hot glue on some of this greenery, it just shrivels up and melts? Just like, ee. Okay, so got that. And I like that. Bow up a little. Okay, that can come up. And that can come down. And I'm trying to decide what I want to put there for sure. Okay. I'm going to go look in my stash just a second, see if there are any other pine cones I like better than that one. Well, I went to look in my stash for some goodies to embellish the ribbon with. And when I came back, I didn't even look at what it was on. I just pushed the go button and on my camera. And when I got finished, I was all through and I was looking up there and it said photo instead of video. Oh, so let me quickly just show you what I did. I took, okay, we had done all of this. I decided to trim these little branches down. I didn't want them sticking out quite as much. And then I found some berries from a garland that I purchased after Christmas last year that is all berries, and I just use those berries in my crafts when I need them. And then I took, where's that little stem? I took this stem that had this little pine cone on the end of it, and I just snipped that off with my wire cutters, folded it down, and attached it to my bow with hot glue. So I've got my berries and my pine cone, and I trimmed these little bronzy branches down just a little bit, and I like that better. So anyway, I am finished, and I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. It is a little time consuming, But I mean, I love it, love it, love it. This is the side. There's your bow. This is the bronze that we put on the borders. This is the Prima transfer. And this is my ribbon that I love, love, love. Let me see if I've got that here. This is the only color I've ever seen it in. It might be in white, I'm not sure. But it's called Silk Light Cut Edge Ribbon, 100% polyester. And this is the antique white. But as you can see, it's just a very soft, flexible ribbon. I love it for things like this. It's really neat. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this. I think I will be selling this at my craft fair for probably $12. I hope that you like it. And if you have not had a chance to subscribe to my channel, please hit that little subscribe button. And until next time, bye-bye.